Welcome to Ask the Expert Show. My name is Marian LaSalle, and with me today we have Ilene Dillon, Lady Lou, and our special guest is Debbie Saviano. And guess what we're going to be talking about tonight? Being social in 2021. Oh my gosh.
Well, we are ready for that, Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
everybody. Hello. So honored to be here.
Oh, we're so happy to have you, Debbie. And I'm Lady Lou, the baby boomer babe. And below me is Ilene Dillon, our wonderful emotions therapist, and Debbie Saviano, the social media expert. We're so glad you're here, Debbie.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, tell us a little bit about how you got involved in social media so that you are the expert.
Well, I always like to say I'm not an expert. I'm an advocate because there's so many things that change every day. But my first career, I was a school principal. And when I retired, this has been 12 years ago, I thought I've got to learn social media. I wasn't smart enough at the time to know why, but I knew I needed it. And so I spent 2.5 years learning everything I could on social media. So that's kind of how it all came to be. So.
Well, you did good. So anyway, Ilene, would you like to lead us off with the first question?
Well, yes, I'm sitting here, Debbie. I'm so impressed that you spent 2.5 years studying it. And I know that that's the kind of thing it takes. And I am a social media resistor. It just seems like it takes up so much of my time. Do you have any hints for how to stay with social media but not have it eat up your life?
Yes. So you're very much in tune with many people. They kind of think it's like it's a passing fad and it's going to go away. But I think that the past few months have proven to us that if you're not on digital space, it can be a really unfortunate situation for you. So what I tell people is to choose one platform that they like the best, that they're the most comfortable with, that their clients and the people they can help are there, and just play with that. And think about physical space. We could not all be here together tonight if it wasn't for digital space. So digital space gives us the opportunity to expand our horizons. Physical space, we can touch, we can feel, we can, be together. Digital space lets us exponentially, we have so many more opportunities. So choose one platform, play with it, get comfortable, and then take baby steps to do the others.
Thank you.
Nice,
that's very
nice.
encouraging. Yeah, really encouraging.
Yes. So what is the most popular social media outlet for people who own a business?
So that's a great question. So it depends on where the people are that you're serving. So, if you've got the young ones, you're going to go to TikTok, obviously, and Snap as well.
But hey, I'm on TikTok too, but there's a whole audience that's my age. I'm telling you, we're out there.
It's expanding because people understand. I always tell people when a new platform comes out, go in and grab your handle. Get your name and claim it, because like for us and like for all of y'all, everything on all those platforms, we own our name. So when it comes out, grab the name first of all, but find out where the people are who you serve, where are they hanging out? And that's the best one for you. Facebook's undeniable just because, 2.3 billion people, you can't argue with that, but find out where your people are. That's where you want to go and where you get the most engagement. With StreamYard, it's great because y'all can bring in all the social platforms regardless of where they are. But I always say, find out where your folks are hanging out. That's where you want to go and who engages with you the most on those platforms.
Aha, that makes good sense because you can't just do them all full time. You'd never get away from the computer.
Right. Yeah. That's why I keep my phone in my hand 24/7.
Is there, what I'm aware of, Debbie, is that I'm not a digital native, and I'm now living with my son and 2 teenage granddaughters, and I've been told that I'm not chill enough, which is understandable. I haven't been striving to be chill. But it's about the languaging.
I knew
Yeah. So okay.
So because you can always tell the age of a person by their text. So for us, all of us, we're going to want to put everything in correct, do the periods, do the punctuation, do the whole bit. They don't care about that. And really, if your client base is a little bit younger, you don't want to do that, because you're going to be saying to them subconsciously, he or she's out of touch. So go with who, again, you're talking to. And it's so hard because, all the little abbreviations and all those things, they drive me crazy. But you're right. You do have to do that. You've got to talk to the audience that you're talking to in the same way they talk, because they're not. One thing about younger people, which is a great gift, they don't read all that stuff we type. They don't read it. They don't want it. The average.
I once wrote to my daughter, and she said I didn't read all of it because it was too long. Mind you, she's gotten a master's degree. She can read, but not on the internet.
Yeah, they don't want. That's why movies today are like an hour and a half long, hour and 25 minutes, because they won't watch them. They will not watch them. That's why brevity is the key. You've got to be able to say it in 1/8 the time that we normally would. But that's something we all struggle with. You're not alone on that.
Thank you.
Oh.
I have a question on how we can set up automatic. That I never did get into the automatic because I felt like if I do it all ahead of time, they'll know. And I know that there are ways that you can do it where they don't know that you're not really there. But I don't know. What's your opinion on that?
So I always tell people, if you had 5 social media people here, they'd probably all tell you something differently, because it's based on their experiences and what their beliefs are and what their goals are. Everything we do with Women's Leadership Live is in the moment. People know that if I'm tweeting it, or if I'm posting on Facebook, or if it's on Instagram, or if it's on LinkedIn, it's right then, it's live. We don't use any automation. And again, it's a personal preference. But I just feel like if I was talking to y'all like we are here, I wouldn't automate that. So I always tell people, what you do in physical space is what you do in digital space. They're no different. The relationships, the time spent building those relationships, we want it to be authentic and real. And I think personally, the only way you can do that is in real time. So that's my
good. See,
my opinion.
I think I went the right way. Whatever Debbie says, that's good.
No,
that's what I've been doing.
Because you're very personable. All of y'all are very personable, and you want people to know. You don't want people to think, well, they did that. That doesn't even make sense. You want it to be in the moment. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now, you were talking about the Leadership Live. Tell us a little bit about that organization.
So as I said, I was a principal in my first career, and I left that and started speaking about, because people first started reaching out to me about LinkedIn, and because that was a professional platform. So I was actually speaking in Boston. Think about that. I live in Texas. I was speaking in Boston. Stacy was living in Florida at the time, and she was in Boston at a conference and heard me. So we connected. I did work for her. You know how girlfriends are. We want to start something together. So she has 2 daughters. I have a daughter and 5 granddaughters. And Linda has a daughter and 3 granddaughters. So we want to do something for women. Everything we do is entrepreneurs. And so that's kind of how we started. It's, how to help people take their products and services to market. It can be online. It can be home shopping network. It can be brick and mortar. But it's how to help those women take their products and services to market. So that's what Women's Leadership Live does. That's kind of in a snowball, I guess, if you'd say. And right now we're working a lot with Made in America. We feel very strongly with everything that's gone on that it's so important to focus on companies and businesses and products that are in America. So
I have a good story about that. So because of COVID, things have slowed down, especially from China to America. Yes. I guess we're afraid that it has cooties on it. I don't know. But anyway, I for business, I needed a printer, and I needed a very specific printer that had 2 levels, one for legal size. And, it had to have certain specs. And everybody in the industry said, no, Marian, you have to have a Brother 6200 DWT. That's what it has to be. So I looked and looked and looked. They were all sold out. And the reason they told me they were sold out is because they're parts that they can only get from China.
Right.
And so it was a madhouse trying to find one. I finally, Amazon to the rescue. I finally found one from Amazon.
That's what's so crazy is I love Amazon, but I also don't like Amazon because it takes away so many small businesses. But then I love Amazon because it's at the door in 24 hours, even in the country. But I think what's happened with China, of course, keep in mind my first career as a school principal in education, I love history. China is a communist country. They have slaves who work their fields. They are the most horrific nation. And y'all know me, I'm very positive. I don't say bad things, but that is a horrific nation country to work with. And so I think that, and we've just kind of outsourced stuff. And now all of a sudden, to your point, Marian, we don't have the products we need. And so we've got to pull back so we don't have to rely on people for prescriptions and different things. I mean, it's just,
thank you for doing that.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing right now.
Good.
We have an audience question. It looks like, how many are in your leadership organization at this time? This is from Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. So basically, Women's Leadership Live is virtual. We're actually international. And so we started out doing events, and we would average 300 to 500 at events. And then when Linda, we make the joke, got called to the White House and got another job, Stacy and I pulled back a little bit and started doing more things virtually. And we had the national tours. And so now we have membership programs. And I think the 2021 is almost over, and that's almost 2,000. I was going to say $2,000 in our minds, how we think, but it depends on the program, Karen, as far as that's concerned.
Wow.
Excellent.
Great question.
Yeah.
Gosh. So what is your favorite social media platform?
That's the worst thing, right? Why? This is not on my head or my nose.
All right, everybody, do the wash machine. Here we go.
Exactly. I think that my favorite would be, gosh, that's a great, it's funny. I don't know if anyone's really ever asked me that. It'd probably be the one I'm on at the moment, but I love Instagram because it's so visual. I love TikTok because it's fun. We haven't done a lot with it, but we have it. I love YouTube because it's in the moment. I probably would say whatever one I'm on, but I do love Instagram. Instagram's all visuals. It's short, it's sweet. It doesn't have as much length to it. So if I had to choose one, I'd probably say Instagram.
Oh,
okay. So here's a good question for you. Now, everybody's familiar with Facebook. Everybody's familiar with YouTube. Well, most people, okay. Right. The majority of people. Let's talk a little bit about some strategy if we wanted to get on, say, Pinterest or Instagram or TikTok. Let's start with Instagram. Tell us, what is it? Where is it? Who's it for? What can we do with it with our business?
So think about Instagram. It's all visual. So you're attracting someone's eye from a visual that you have. Now, Ilene, your area of specialty is emotions. Instagram is about emotions. What attracts you to the picture? And so when you're
write that down, Ilene.
I mean,
I'm writing.
So like when we post things like it can be a simple word, and it can be something I'm looking at right now. It can be something like we posted, dream big, humility. Those things connect with people, or the people that we work with, right? So it's about images. It's about the you're going to have a lot of women on Instagram, the majority of them. The picture is where 80% of the intent is. 20% is the comment, because many times people just scroll. They never read the comments. I'm a huge advocate for tagging people because I'm a talker. I love people. And if I was in a conversation, people joke. If I'm in a room, I usually know most of the people by the time I leave, if it's reasonable to be able to do that. So on Instagram, for example, I tag people. So, the @ type their name and it turns blue, they've tagged. That means they get noticed. So then you brought them into the conversation. So tagging is huge for that. But think about that picture. What's going to resonate with the person you're wanting to do business with?
Okay, so Deb, what if you're not a graphic artist? How are you going to come up with pictures?
Oh, girlfriend. So you have your pen ready? Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. So one, I have so many apps I can't even tell you. But one app that I love is Ronna Designs, RHONNA Designs.
Whoa. We went too fast.
Yeah, RHONNA Design. She's on Instagram. You can go in there and say something, tell you heard about it from us. Ronna Designs is one. Get, GET Stencil, STENCIL. That's another great one. Canva, CANVA.com. That's a great one. Pick Monkey, PIC, monkey.com. PixArt. There's so many that I use, but trust me, those will get you started. And like Get Stencil, for example, what's so good about it is you can type in, put in all your stuff. They give you templates. They give you so many things to use.
What was that last one you said? PixArt?
PixArt.
Oh, PixArt. Oh, okay.
No, PIXAR.
No, it's PICSART. PixArt.
Oh.
But they add images, they add features, they add filters, they add text, they add frames. I mean, everything you'd want, they add. If you'll look at on Instagram, Women's Leadership Live, all those images on there I created with those apps I just told you about. Wow. See, here's an example. 5-7 years ago when I did LinkedIn, I would pay a graphic designer $500 to do the banner. $500. Overnight, their world changed because Canva came into play. All of a sudden, I don't have to hire anybody anymore. We do all ours our own. I do them myself. So that's the thing to think about as an entrepreneur, business person. What could happen tomorrow that could affect you and have an impact on your business to where it might not be as valued as it was yesterday based on technology?
That's right.
So, Debbie, I have a question. I've been writing books, publishing books, and I have things I need to let people know about. And one of the questions that comes to my mind is, how much posting is too much posting?
Okay, great question. Great question. So Stacy and I, my partner Stacy and I, we use the philosophy of the Pareto principle. So the Pareto principle, Pareto, is 80-20 rule. So 80% should bring value. You're teaching them something. You're sharing something that's positive. You're educating, entertaining. 20%, if you will, for lack of a better word, is sales. I don't like that word, but that's where you're trying to show them what you can bring to them. Because see, here's the thing, on social media, all your platforms, your website, everything should be very easy how they can get a hold of you. You want them to just be attracted to you because they like you. They feel like you know what you're doing. They trust you. You bring value to them. So then when they need something, they're going to reach out to you. But post. I personally, if you take the 80-20 rule, I don't think you can post too much. Now, I will tell you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, I do once a day. That's what we do once a day. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty much in the morning before 9:30. I do it all myself, and people kind of know when our stuff, comes out. So you want to be consistent. You can just do once a week if you want, but you want it to be consistent so your people know when to expect your post, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Of course.
Makes sense to me. Now,
wait 1 second. We have somebody in the audience. And if you're on Facebook, if you want to give permission for Facebook to share who you are, you'll need to do that. But I just happen to be over on Facebook over here to let you know who this is, because you have a fan. And this is Robin Rogerson.
Oh my gosh, I love Robin. Hi, Robin. Oh my gosh. Robin is the most, she's an amazing woman. She is such an advocate and such a champion for other women. And she just moved to Tennessee. She's kind of out in the country like me now, just another state. But Robin is one of those people who we feel very humbled in Women's Leadership Live to have, is that she's the kind of women that represent the women in our community. Robin truly is a champion of other women. She does it in every way, shape, or form you can possibly imagine. And she engages. And that's the other thing with social media, y'all. The key is, it's just like if we're talking, people want you to engage with them. So when you see things, if you just hit the like button, that's like this. That's all it is. After a while, people stop talking to you. So you want to hit the like button, but then you also want to comment.
I agree.
I have been taught that it's really important for some people, that you hit the love button, the heart button, instead of just the like button.
I always hit the love.
I do too. It's more fun.
Yes. And again, that depends on a person's personality. But like with you, Lou, people who know you, people who know me, they would expect the love. I probably do the like button 5% of the time, and 95% of the time a heart.
Yeah, yes. Me too. And once in a while, I'll put the wow.
Yeah.
I love that statement. If the people know me, they will expect that love. I love that.
Well, it's like on LinkedIn, when I say, like if someone messages me or something, again, that's a professional platform. But again, I would do this in person if I were with someone. I'm a hugger, I'm a toucher, that's just me. I usually say hugs, Debbie. Because that's who I am. I mean, I'm not, now again, that's probably 80% of the time, probably 20% of the time. If it's some man I don't know, I'm not going to say hugs. But if it's a guy I do know, they would expect that.
Yeah. I love that. Gee, money. Now,
so oh, I'm sorry, Lou. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, what I noticed, one of the struggles that I've had is that there's so much that's, I don't know, pre-made or that is an abbreviation or an emoji, that a concern I have is that personality doesn't come through so much. But I'm learning from you ways to bring personality through.
Right. So it's kind of like, this is a little bit of an example in a different way. So like we're all having to wear masks right now. Well, I love to smile. I like to smile at people, and I feel badly that they don't know you're smiling, even though I think you can see it in the eyes a little bit. So what I do oftentimes is I wink and put my hand on my heart, because that's a way of saying, you know, hey, I'm thinking about you. So, but the people who do know you, Eileen, they will, the smiley face, the heart, all those things, they will know that's you, because they know
Thank you. Yeah.
I like that. Oh my goodness. Is Instagram easy to learn? I have never used it.
It is. Well, it's like anything else. So Stacy and I, my partner, we joke about this. When we first started doing Twitter, Stacy and I cannot say hello in 100 at the time, 120 characters. It's 180 now, so it's a lot better. But what it does is it forces us to think in terms of that platform. Think of Twitter as a news feed. It's fast. It's, you know, it's right there. Short, sweet, brevity is the key. So the thing with all of them, when you first start, they're a little bit challenging, but that's why I say just take one and do baby steps. But it's not hard once you start playing with it. And don't get frustrated, because that's what happens to most of us, is we get frustrated because it's like, oh my gosh, because invariably when you start it, everything messes up, right? So just to start first, just go to get your account, and then go to someone else's Instagram account and just do the like, the heart, whatever, and then comment, and just play with that for a while, and then start moving into doing your own pictures.
Okay.
Your own images.
There you go. We have a bunch of people on LinkedIn that are waving and saying hi, and so that gives me an opportunity to let you know that we are really making Debbie proud tonight. We are streaming live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and as soon as the show's over, we're over on at least 8 podcast platforms. So we got it covered, right?
You have it covered. Thank you so much.
All right, now on to my very favorite, TikTok. Let's talk about TikTok.
So TikTok, when it first came out, obviously we grabbed the handle right away for Women's Leadership Live. And TikTok is I can't remember if Lou or Eileen who said it first, but you could only do so much. And we try to be authentic in what we do. I don't try to make people think you can do everything, be everything to all people, because you can't. We played with TikTok. I love TikTok. But at the same time, we haven't put as much time in that at all as we should. But I know enough about it that I can play with it. TikTok is fun. It's not to be met serious. The dancing, the singing, the goofy things people do. That's what people go to TikTok for. And it is becoming a powerhouse. I mean, it is truly becoming a powerhouse. A young lady just this week was the first one to pass 1 million followers. And she's a young woman you can become famous if you can have your videos go viral. And it's so much. The other thing about TikTok, and I give credit to younger people for this, because that's the majority that started with it, right? Because it was a music platform. But the younger people, they're not into the being negative. They're not into slamming one another. They don't do that. And so that's a really positive about TikTok that you don't necessarily see on all the other platforms. So I give real credit to the younger people for that. They don't put up with that.
What I really like about TikTok, what they do is their algorithm learns you and what you're interested in. And so when I get on TikTok now, I see animals galore, especially horses, because I always share them with Lady Lou because she's in love with horses. But I love all animals, so I get a lot of funny things, and people who live on farms, and they're sharing their turtles that are the house size of a house, and all these really cool things. And then cooking tips. I'm teaching one of my mastermind members how to use TikTok, and so now I'm getting all these cooking tips. And
good for you.
I know, it's great. and also how to fix up your house and little tips on things that you can do to save money. And there's all these great things. Now, what I noticed is if you first get on TikTok, you might see some pretty weird stuff that you're not interested in, and it may turn you off. But don't worry. As soon as you start liking stuff, it teaches their algorithm what you like, and then you get more of that. So don't discount it.
You're totally right. And with the little search, little magnifying glass, just type in horses, type in pets, type in cooking, no matter what platform you're on. And then those things are going to come up. And to your point, the algorithms will start matching you to what it is you like to see. Like Will Smith always comes up for me. I love to see Will Smith's videos. He's so clever. So that's a great point, though. You're right.
Lots of comedy, lots of happiness. Yeah.
Well, Marian, I just want to let you know that I particularly love cows.
Oh, okay. I'll be sending you some TikTok cows now.
Thank you.
They've got everything, so I'm sure they have cows. What kind of cows, Eileen?
Oh, well, I grew up on my grandparents' farm where they had Guernseys and Jerseys and, milk cows and Black Angus and that sort of thing. But I used to hang out in the orchard where they let the cows come and munch on the grass, and I would lie out there and the cows would walk around me and I could smell their grassy breath and so forth. And their eyes are beautiful. I love cows.
And they're very smart. They're very smart. Cows are very smart.
Yeah.
And they're sweet.
Yeah.
TikTok got a bad name there for a while, a couple of people said
But here's again, if it's always, Stacey and I always say, follow, back end design, follow where it came from. And again, this isn't the time, but people have to be aware of the power of Chinese government and what they do and what they want. Their value system is not ours. Anyway, we are so loving as a country, I think, and as a population. We forget that not everybody has the same values we do, and that's why TikTok, and that's why, to be honest, in the very beginning we played with it, but we kind of stayed away from it. We just were there because we wanted to see what was going to happen. And now that they've made changes, that a little bit more security, but you do have to be cognizant of that because we live in a different world in digital space.
We do. Sure. Yes. Sure. Only share what you don't mind if it's out to the world, right?
Absolutely. That's what Will Smith said. His grandmother told him only to share what he wants his grandmother to see. That's a great lesson.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And watch your language.
always be positive. We are we have a very strong fact about that. We only go positive. I always tell people, if you get mad about something, go in the bathroom and have a fit. Don't go on social media with it because everyone gets up to do a good job. Everyone's trying their best. You want to give them that benefit anyway and just say positive because you want them to know you as that because it stays there forever, right? You might think it disappears, but it doesn't.
No,
I think that is a great life lesson. Absolutely. that we because what I hear in there is you acknowledging that everybody has different points of view, and it's not really up to us to police other people. Exactly. And I appreciate that. Yeah.
I want people to do that to me. So Stacey and I model that with other people because that's what we, treat others as you want them to treat you.
Yeah. Right.
It's funny too because for a long time, I've been on all the social media platforms since they come out. As soon as they come out, and here's why: I'm old, okay, and I realize that
you are not.
You are.
I'm older than a lot of people that are on like TikTok.
Okay. Now I'll listen.
Well, my daughter said. I said, Megan, I haven't gotten any pictures of the grandkids in a while. She goes, Mom, you're going to have to get on. And back then it was before Facebook.
I had it and then I lost it. MySpace.
And I was like, MySpace. So she was like, yes, Mother, you're going to have to go and sign up for MySpace. So I got on MySpace. I didn't know what it was, but I was still on AOL. And then all of a sudden I noticed I wasn't getting any more pictures. And I'm like, what's going on? I don't see any pictures of the boys. And she goes, oh, Mother, we've moved on. We're on Facebook now. I'm like, what? What's that?
Well, that's it. The generations, when the older people get there, they move on. That's why Snap and TikTok are so popular because of that. It's like many conservatives have moved to Parler because they weren't happy with some other things. So people are always finding the platform that speaks to who they hang out with, right? And you're right, and they're always changing, they're always updating, I think we're safe to say Facebook is here to stay, as I think Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn is, but there's always new ones. It's important to grab the name for sure.
Yes.
I'm going to admit on air that I met my husband Bob on AOL, Marian.
All right.
Way long ago.
But that's the beauty of digital space. That's the beauty of digital space. You might not have met him otherwise.
Right.
He only lived 26 miles from me, which was a surprise, but there he was.
But it
wasn't a dating app. They didn't have dating apps in 1994. It was a mental health bulletin board.
They had message boards. I love my message boards. Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, we've got somebody in the audience, and I can't show his comment, but his name is Hyatt Ives. I want to just do a shout out to Hyatt. Hyatt's awesome.
Hi,
Hyatt.
And he knows how to talk. He should be very good on social media. That's for sure. Hi, Hyatt.
Hi.
Yeah. So where are we going to go next? I mean, TikTok's the newest, latest, greatest. Then what?
That's the whole beauty of it. You never know. There's some kid, I say kid because it's usually who comes up with this stuff, sitting in a room somewhere on his or her computer, thinking of the next best thing. And all these kids that play the games, the gaming, those kids are geniuses in their own right, to say the least. They're coders and they know how to do these things. So you never know what's coming. I will say that, and this is a perfect example here, going forward in 2020, we have a Women's Leadership Live LinkedIn page, company page. And so I post on that every day, or at least try to every day, something, and probably 80% of us try to teach something because people like, things on social media. But one of the things that we've been doing is, hi Hyatt, is posting about 2020 trends. And one of them is live streaming, which is what we're doing here. StreamYard's superb at that. But we're moving away from webinars because social media, every one of them has video capabilities. They want you there. What the beauty of StreamYard, I'll give them a punch because I think they're great. You can bring all the platforms together. You don't have to be separated. And so that's a really positive thing for StreamYard. But live videoing will replace webinars in many ways moving forward in 2020, for sure.
And did you ever get on Blab?
Oh. I did.
Okay. For those who have never heard of Blab, it was the most fantastic thing I had ever seen in my whole life. Okay. So imagine something like this where we have 4 people, right? And then all of a sudden there's more people coming in. And all of a sudden you have like 20, 30, 40, 100 people.
From everywhere.
Yeah, and you don't even know where they came from. You don't know how, and occasionally somebody would show up and they didn't have clothes on or something, so they had to start putting some filters in there. But it was so fun. We had such a good time. I met some of my most favorite people in the world on Blab, and then all of a sudden one day
it was just gone. Well, it was interesting because when Blab first came out, because as I said, anything that comes out, we grab it. And I got on one and camera wasn't there. And it was a kid in England. It was somebody else in Ireland, someone in the United States, and they were probably 23 average age. Well, they wanted me to come on. I said, guys, I just got finished working out. I got my sweats on, my hair's not done, blah, blah, blah. Blab. They said, oh, come on. So I did. And I thought, that's the difference in us. They look like they literally had which is fine. But they were so authentic and so real. They just wanted to connect. We had the best conversation. We had the best time just hanging out. But that's the difference, Eileen, and what we were talking about earlier, and how we talk and what we do, our expectations, than younger people. They're a lot less intimidated and inhibited, which I think is a huge gift,
Yeah, so many people are just petrified of the camera.
Clapper.
Hey, Ricky.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's a different Ricky. It's Ricky Cortez, and he says, "What about Clapper? What is Clapper?"
I have
heard
not
of that one.
The only thing Clapper I know is the old funny commercial where you clap in the lights on that was a commercial. Ricky, you'll have to teach us about Clapper.
Yeah, Ricky doesn't look old enough to know about.
Yeah, I don't think Ricky does. Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, that's our next lesson, huh, Mary?
Too cute.
Yeah,
but Mary. No, it's hard to keep up with them because things come out so fast. But one of the reasons that I'm always doing the research and doing behind the scenes, if you will, is to see what's going to come out as far as in social media, because you do want to grab it when it first comes. So I have to do the research on Clapper. Thank you, Ricky.
Yeah. We got to find out what about Clapper. Yeah, that's right.
On it.
So do you have time to yourself, Debbie? I'm still concerned about social media taking up so much time. Do you have a life?
Well, here's the deal. I'm very strategic with social media. I am very strategic. In the morning, from like 8 to 10, give or take, I say 2 hours. That's when I do it all. Now, for example, we have a women in business group in Facebook, and probably every day or every other day, I'll post something. Like today, I said real tree or artificial tree, because today is National Christmas Tree Day. Because you just want to stay involved with the ladies, and it's all women's group, and it's a fun way to talk and interact. When I do that, I'll go in throughout the day and see who's posted, and I'll comment. But I don't know. I just feel like it's an extension of us. And I don't see it as not having my time. I see it as being able to connect with the world. I love social media. I love digital space. I love meeting people. I love interacting with people. Robin's moved, perfect example. Robin moved to Tennessee, but because of digital space, we're all still connected. We can be anywhere in the world, and there are no borders. All we have to have is an internet. That's the only thing we have to have. So yeah, I do make time, but also I'm very strategic with those 2 hours. That's the majority of it. Yeah. And then the rest of the time is what we're working on. Great question.
Thank you. Yeah. I find that very comforting. Thank you for that answer.
Yeah. I don't, believe it or not, I don't spend a lot of time on social media either.
You probably know how it works. It takes me half a day to figure out how it works, and then I can post.
Well, that's what just do one. Just do which one do you use now, Ilene? Which one's your favorite?
Well, I basically use Facebook and LinkedIn because I'm trying to tell people about my books, and LinkedIn for business and Facebook for connecting with people with projects that I'm doing. And I will say, I'm appearing in a summit that's being broadcast from Perth, Australia. I made connection with a woman in the United Arab Emirates. So, I'm not a slouch, but it seems to happen more through them contacting me and me not going after people. It's like it's like a miracle to me. Somebody found me.
Well, the one thing
you're so much more deliberate.
But you're so wise about is LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn, if I had to say my favorite, would be LinkedIn in that regard, because it's a professional platform. People there mean business. So to your point, Lou, when you ask me my favorite, as far as a platform, it'd be LinkedIn by hundreds of degrees. That is where people find you.
Yeah. Yes. Well, LinkedIn is excellent. Mm-hmm. I haven't paid enough attention to it, and I plan to.
Yes. Yeah, LinkedIn. Go to our Women's Leadership Live LinkedIn company page. And like I said, we post there every day.
Okay.
And a lot of, probably 80% of it, 75 to 80% of it is things to teach on social media, things that were like trends, what's coming up. We've done things this week on memes are going to be big. I like to say memes, but they're memes. Memes for 2021 because they're so popular. Interactive content like quizzes and polls and surveys and infographics. But we try to post things there that are educational, that people can read it. I usually do the visual so people can see it, Ilene, to your point, kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because the teacher in me is always there. So people can walk away and know how to do it just from the post we shared.
I like it.
I'd like to go into a little more about the software because we've got a lot of people talking on the chat room over here. And one of them is Karen. Karen is saying Slack is good too. And what I want to say about that is, yes, Slack is a great tool and it is considered social, but you have to know the people. You have to either work with them or be invited into a group. What I like about TikTok is that you don't have to know anybody. You can get on there. You could put a video up there, and you could have people from all over
that didn't know you before,
that never heard of you before, and now all of a sudden they're in love with you. Right. Now, the same with Facebook. You have to accept people as friends, or they can, stumble on you a little bit, type of thing. But But that's where TikTok's different. And that's one of the reasons why I like it. I think it's kind of like Blab in that just anybody and everybody with keywords can find you.
Right. Well, see, that would like Slack. Slack is an outstanding resource, to Karen's point, for business. I mean, it is. We've used when we're doing projects and we're working with other companies and other people. Women's Leadership Live, Stacy and I and David, we've used Slack many times. But for just the social aspect of conversations, LinkedIn it would probably be our first, because it is people who are decision makers and people who have the ability to make the decision and find people. They're going to do it on LinkedIn beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Okay. Ricky has responded.
Oh, good.
He said, Clapper is an independent app for free speech, short video platform growing so fast, not censored. Well,
Ricky, thank you. I'm going to look up. I'm making myself a note right here to do Clapper.
Yes. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate that. Now, that could be bad or good if they're not censored at all. Who knows what you might run into there, right?
It's good to research it and look at it anyway, right?
Right.
It's just amazing the things that come out now. And if you don't keep up, you're going to get left in the dust.
It is hard. I mean, that is the challenge. But I do think it's important, if you've identified one or two platforms that are working for you, like Eileen was saying, LinkedIn and Facebook, stay with those. Because if you're getting business and if you're getting connections and you're getting introductions and collaborations, there's only so many hours in the day, right? So if those are working, I say stay with those. And like it is fun to choose one maybe and start playing with the other.
That's right.
Do you have any criteria or way to determine whether or whose invitation to accept?
Great question.
I'm listed as a widow, and I'm telling you, more so-called military men.
Oh yeah, the military guys sitting on the
and they're not even real. I know they're not real.
So here's what I say for LinkedIn, because it is a professional platform. I take everybody at first look, okay? Because I feel like it's professional, it's different. Facebook, I'm like you, I get some really strangers. I don't take those. I decline. But on LinkedIn, I do take them. And then if they turn out to be weird and they send me messages, what probably 40% of them do, I just go in and take them off. I'm done with them. I don't mess with it. I don't care. But I give them the benefit of the doubt because it is a professional platform. I don't give them the benefit of the doubt on Facebook.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because you're right, there's some really strange people out there. But it's like anything we have in this world. Like, for example, money. They say when they print money, they have to immediately start working on the next series because there's counterfeiters are going to figure out a way to counterfeit. So it's like social. It's a place to be able to find people. And so there's that little bit of percent that are going to abuse it. So if they get weird, I just disconnect with them.
Oh, this is hilarious. Okay. So Terry Hibbler saying hello to all the panelists, and he's not odd at all. Hashtag.
There you go, Terry. There you go.
Actually, it's not.
Thank you. I'm so comforted. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of those military guys are about half my age too.
Yeah, they're always sitting on something by the tent, by all the equipment and everything. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Yeah, but I always tell my husband, I say, what's sad is for someone who might take them seriously. That's what I think is sad. There's always scammers out there, right? There's always scammers. But yes, I'm with you on that one. Yeah. I'm looking up here.
Yeah. Well, I think, Eileen, you can take that widowed part off of your Facebook.
That's what I was going to. Is it on Facebook or LinkedIn you have the widow part?
Probably both places because they ask you.
Yeah, I removed mine. I had a widow under there. I removed it.
Yeah, you don't have to put it. They ask you all that stuff, but you don't have to put it. You can skip it.
I'll take it off. I mean,
I did.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, for sure.
It's not truly an identifier, but it is truth.
Now, if their business centered around things for widows, then for sure I'd leave it on. But if it doesn't pertain to what your business, for your books and stuff, then I would not. Right? It's like I don't put my year on there. I put my birthday, but not my year. Please.
I would like to know, can people hire you to help them with their social media?
Yes. So for Women's Leadership Live, Stacy and I, we work with, products and services. So people hire us to take their product to market. So that's a whole different business menu of services, if you will. For me, for LinkedIn, people hire me to do their LinkedIn profile. And then people also hire me to teach them overall general strategy for social media as a whole. Because one of the things that I learned is, Stacy tells me this all the time. She'll say, Kitten, you know it because you live and breathe it. The rest of us don't know it. So what I've learned is that people want to be taught in a way that they don't feel uncomfortable. They don't feel like they're not smart enough, because that's not the case at all. It's just, that's what I do. So it's easy for me. But people hire me to show them the whole gamut of social media and how to use those platforms, what to do, how to have a strategy. Like every month we have a calendar, and I create a calendar for the whole month. So every special day is on there. Like today was Christmas tree day. And then I also have special things. So then when I want to post, I know to look at that just to see what's happening for that day, if that makes sense. So yes, people do hire me for that, Marian. Yes.
Oh,
okay. Well, I want to, for those people who are listening to the podcast and can't see, don't forget down below, or try to remember down below, every place that we are, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, not every place that we have it, we have a little comment section down below, and it gives you all the information and the links to everything that we talked about tonight. Well, maybe not Clapper. But anyway,
let me say one thing on that, because I just saw it go across the feed, my phone number. And a lot of people say, you put your phone number out there? And I'm like, yes, because you would not believe how many clients get just calling me, because I control my phone. If I want to answer it, I answer it. Just like the other day, Mary and I were talking, when her picture shows up in my phone. If I've ever met you, trust me, I've got your picture and I've got your number in my phone. If I don't have it, I just don't answer it and they leave a message. So there's nothing, I don't mind people call me. I don't mind at all, iPhone being out there at all. I think it's a very valuable thing, because when people want help, they want it right now. Yeah. They don't want to wait. They want to have someone who says, yes, I can help you, or no, I can't. Then they can move on. But I have found having my phone number everywhere has been one of the most beneficial things I've ever done.
I know we have to go, but I want to give them one more tip on that. Okay, so I have another business, okay, and I wanted to be able to answer my phone with my business name. So since I only want to use one phone, I don't want to carry around two phones. AT&T allows me to have a second phone number on the phone with a little eSIM card. So they just put this little card inside my phone, and now when it has my other company name on it, I can see that they're calling that number. When I call somebody, it shows up my company name.
Right.
So I needed that answer. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Technology affords us all these opportunities, for sure.
It is. Well, wow, this has been so fun. We don't want to wrap it up, but
I know.
It's been great talking to you. It's been a lot of fun. So much fun.
I've learned a lot. Thank you, Debbie.
Oh, well, thank you. My pleasure, please.
Yes, thank you for being here. And if nothing else out there, everybody go watch the replay. This was too much fun not to watch it again. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Debbie. We love
Thank you so much. God bless.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for all the questions and comments.
Thank you, Mary. We appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Hugs.
Hugs.